I could actually run my business. I could actually run my business and run government at the same time. I don't like the way that looks, but I would be able to do that if I wanted to. My two sons, who are right here, Don and Eric, are going to be running the company. They are going to be running it in a very professional manner. They're not going to discuss it with me.
All that was a damn lie. From the moment it came out of his mouth, a flat-out lie. They have been discussing the business, and how dumb could you actually be to somehow think that you could run your little business while also being the leader of the free world? Yeah, that shows you how delusional Donald Trump is. And of course, he still maintains ownership of his global empire. In a lawsuit filed by the Attorney General of Maryland and the District of Columbia yesterday, Trump is charged with violating the Constitution's anti-corruption clauses.
The suit alleges that President Trump is flagrantly violating the Constitution, which explicitly bars presidents from receiving gifts or inducements from foreign or domestic government entities. Never in the history of this country have we had a president with these kinds of extensive business entanglements, or a president who refused to adequately distance themselves from their holdings.
Part of the lawsuit contends that since becoming president, foreign dignitaries have incentives to stay at Trump's D.C. hotel or hold events there instead of using taxpayer-funded convention centers in Maryland and the nation's capital.
We know that foreign governments are spending money there in order to curry favor with the President of the United States.
The White House was quick to dismiss the lawsuit, calling it nothing more than political grandstanding by two Democrats.
It's not hard to conclude that partisan politics may be one of the motivations behind the suit. The suit was filed by two Democratic attorney generals. The lawyers driving the suit are an advocacy group with partisan ties. I think we'll continue to move to dismiss this case in the normal course of business.
You might recall President Trump promised to donate all profits of his companies made from foreign governments to the U.S. Treasury in order to avoid a conflict of interest. Well, now they say it won't happen until 2018. Just another lie. Joining us on the phone from D.C. is Senator Ben Cardin, Democrat of Maryland. Senator Cardin, welcome to TV One.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
We have a president who continuously lies. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And it's this attitude of, and I've said it and I don't care, that essentially he is the grifter in chief.
Well, clearly he is violating the Constitution of the United States because foreign governments are using Trump enterprises in order to curry favor with the president. That's exactly what the constitutional provision was put in to prevent. So from day one, because he refused to either set up a blind trust or divest himself of his Trump holdings, he was violating the Constitution. He's put our country at great risk. So the attorney generals from D.C. and Maryland are filing suit based upon several factors. First, the constitutional violation, but also it puts other businesses at a disadvantage. If you own a hotel in D.C., you know you're at a disadvantage from the Trump hotel because foreign governments are going to use the Trump hotel over yours to curry favor with the president. So not only is it a direct conflict, not only is it also violating the Constitution and compromising the integrity of the president, it also puts the businesses at disadvantage.
Well, and not just that. I mean, we saw over the weekend when he returned to his golf course in New Jersey, where he popped into a wedding that was being held there. And in fact, that golf course, they actually advertised two couples to get married there. Hey, the president might come by. His Mar-a-Lago, they jacked up the membership fees from $100,000 to $200,000. I mean, he is clearly pimping the presidency.
Well, he's clearly commercialized the office. The fact that his children have used the White House name in order to do business in foreign countries. The fact that his companies have received trademarks in China that they couldn't get for many, many years, and now he's able to get that. The fact that he gets royalty payments in Turkey. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, where President Trump is benefiting from the office of the presidency in a way that you can draw only one conclusion, that the power of the office has been used for commercial gain.
I cannot imagine if President Barack Obama did 2% of the crap Trump has done, that Republicans will be so quiet.
There's no question there's been a different standard here used by the Republicans. We see that over and over again in these investigations, in these Russian investigations. The Republicans used a totally different standard with Secretary Clinton. They used a totally different standard with President Obama.
Senator Cardin, final question for you. AG Jeff Sessions will go before the Senate today to talk about this, a number of issues, including this third meeting that has not been reported with Russian official, with the Russian ambassador. I mean, at this point, can you actually trust the Attorney General to be straight with the American people?
Well, he's going to be under oath, so we're going to be able to see what he says when there's enforcement by perjury issues. And clearly there's been inconsistent testimonies he's given in the past. He has not been forthcoming on his contacts with the Russian ambassador. It'll be very, I think, enlightening to see exactly how he handles the questions. They're not just going to be from one member. It's going to be from all the members of the committee. So there'll be an opportunity, I think, for us to see firsthand Senator Sessions as it relates to these issues.
Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Good to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Glenn Ivey, a partner at Price, Benowitz, and former federal prosecutor. Glenn, your assessment of this lawsuit by these attorneys general.
It's a big step forward, I think, for those who want to try and challenge this. There was a group that had filed a lawsuit earlier in the year, but they're all private citizens. To have the Attorney General of a sovereign state like Maryland and the District of Columbia file suit, I think elevates the ability to get past the standing barrier.
Why specifically have these two attorneys general? Is it because businesses impacted in the DMV?
Yeah, I think that's definitely right. And they cited certain Washington Convention Center. The Maryland Attorney General cited entities and hotels in Maryland that they were saying are losing out because they're at a competitive disadvantage with the Trump facilities. You could well see attorney generals from other states join into this as well. New York in particular, I think, might take a hard look at this.
And also, some have said that the Constitution is unclear as to what kind of financial incentives a president can and cannot receive. So by doing this, this is establishing, if you will, a precedent if it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's never been defined, the emoluments clause, the term has never been defined in court, but there's a lot of smoke here, I think. You know, as the senator just listed out, Trump as an individual is benefiting in a variety of ways that I think would call into question whether he's violating this clause or not. I think there's a strong argument that he's receiving gifts and inducements from these foreign governments that raise the issue of potential self-dealing or conflicts of interest.
Well, and again, what you see is, you see a very clear effort by Trump and his children to profit from the presidency. I mean, remember early on, Melania Trump, her attorney filed a lawsuit against one of the newspapers that alleged she was an escort or something along those lines. He put in the document that they were going to enrich themselves from her brand as First Lady.
Yeah, I think that's right. And, it looks like the business strategy is pretty clearly to try and expand the Trump brand, especially the trademarking piece where they get royalties off leasing out the name. They're trying to expand that as quickly as possible, and I think that's certainly borne out by the circumstantial facts in this case.
All right, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Let's go to our panel. George Farrell, founder of Black Pack and author of Success is Colorblind. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, of course, she is a leadership strategist, author of How Exceptional Black Women Lead. Spencer Overton, president, Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies. Grifter in chief, George.
Grifter in chief, you have to understand he's not taking a salary, Roland. This is the president.
That's irrelevant.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
a lot of money. That's
George,
a lot of money. It's
I'm
not taking
sorry.
a salary.
George, I'm sorry.
It's not taking a salary.
I'm sorry.
But
Please,
these
hold
are
on.
properties that he owned
Please
before
show
he
me,
became president.
George.
These are
please-
properties
no,
owned before he became
no.
president.
He's not president. Please show me in the Constitution where it says that because you choose not to take a salary, you can
It
somehow...
doesn't say that, but George Washington owned properties, Thomas Jefferson owned properties. All these people were business people before they entered government service. This is why that clause was written.
No.
So
The
a lot of
issue
they
is
didn't own
not owning-
hotels,
the issue
but
is
they
not-
owned businesses.
the issue is
They
not
operated businesses while they served in government.
The issue is not owning
You can serve
property.
in government and own a business role.
The issue is not owning property. The issue is when you have foreign dignitaries who are on the record as saying they are spending money at his hotel to specifically influence the administration.
I don't think people are going to influence administration by staying at a hotel.
So here's why this is important. If you've got a relative who's in the military, who may be deployed, you want a commander-in-chief who's going to make a decision based on the merits, not based on whether his business is going to profit. If you've got a job working for a manufacturer, you want an executive, a commander-in-chief who is negotiating trade deals based on the best interests of the country, not based on the best interests of his companies here. And so there are real consequences to average Americans.
The president says America first. I think his policies are going to be American first policies that benefit the American people.
No,
that benefit
George,
the
his
Congress.
policies are Trump first.
No, they're American people.
They're
He's
Trump
putting people in
first,
jobs.
Avis.
He opened up a coal mine. There's a coal mine now open that was closed for
He
years.
opened up a coal mine. His own son, Eric Trump, has been asking for foreign workers to be able to work their winery. They can't even hire American people to work their own winery.
They can hire people. There are people standing in line. The economy's coming back, Roland.
No, it's not. First of all, the economies really do. Really?
Really?
The man
Really?
promised 4% GDP growth. What do we have?
We have a stock market that's going up. We have a stock.
It went up President Obama. It was 7,000 in February of 2009. And what was it when he left?
I don't know the
I
figure,
thought
but
so. Avis, come on, George. Don't try that crap now. Avis, go ahead.
So much. And then you had his children over there promising, visas, an easier way to get visas because, of course, their daddy's in the office. I mean, there are so many ways in which this particular person at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is exactly right. He is pimping his presidency, and the American people are the ones who are losing out in the end.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. Your hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally. What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.